Hi there everyone, this is Kerri Ho from the Songbird where we get grounded, take flight and sing. Now today I'd like to address the question, how to belt. Okay, there is massive confusion out there in terms of, even how to define what belt is and how to actually correctly access belts in your voice. And so I'm actually going to do, because it's such a big topic, I'm actually going to do this across two videos. So today what I'm going to cover is what is belting. And in order for me to be able to explain what belting is actually, I will have to show you all the differences between all the different parts of our voice and our vocal registers. So that's essentially what I will cover today. And then in my next video, how to belt part 2, I will then actually give some exercises to show you how to access it properly. But it is very, very important that this first video, that you really listen, you really watch this and understand the concepts behind it. Otherwise, you might actually go about accessing it incorrectly. Okay, so without any further ado, let's begin. So what is belting? There's a myriad of examples of how people define belting. But what I'm going to say is that this is definitely true of belting, and this is something probably all vocal coaches would agree on. Belting is a sound when you sing that is loud, it is very powerful. There's got to be a degree of some sort of edginess in it, depending on what style you are singing. So if you were singing rock, for example, there'd be more edge to it. If you were singing, some other genre like a pop or musical theatre, there'd still be edge in it, but depending on the song there might be slightly less edge in it. And a healthy belt has a good balance of both chest and head voice. Okay, all right, so that's what belting is. Okay, so let me just show you what it sounds like, because it's kind of, sometimes that's still very confusing just hearing the description. But what does a belt actually sound like? So I'm going to show you on Beyonce's If I Were a Boy, okay, that chorus bit, I'll show you what it sounds like to belt that out. So it goes, if I were a boy. So that is a healthy belt. And so if you can see, that was loud, that was powerful, there was a little bit of edge in it, and there was a healthy mix of chest and head voice in that, okay? So now that you understand what a belt is and what it actually sounds like, let me now demonstrate the differences in all of our vocal registers, because this will help you understand how to actually correctly access your belting voice, okay? So, how to correctly belt. So the first thing is obviously chest tone, okay? So your chest voice is the part which is very close to your speaking voice. When I'm speaking like this, it's very comfortable. I'm not thinking much about it. And when we sing in our chest voice, it's pretty much very similar. It's the part of our voice which is really easy to access. And we pretty much, do it without thinking. So for example, if I were a boy, okay, so it's a thicker tone because it's lower in your range. And then we of course move up to our head voice range. Okay, it's the high notes of your range. It's characteristically thinner in sound compared to your chest voice. Okay, in a classical or an operatic sense, it would sound something like this. La, 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 la. Okay, that's a pure, head voice where you really feel the resonance here. Okay, in a more contemporary setting, we're thinking, if I were a boy. Okay, so that's me singing in my head voice. Okay, all right, and now we come to, now that you understand chest and head voice, now let's talk about mixed voice. So once again, a myriad of different definitions out there that can be very, very confusing. But this is really important, because having a strong mixed voice is basically what's going to help you do a healthy belt sound, okay? So a mixed voice, to me, has to have a blend of chest and head in it. That's why it's called mixed, okay? So where I've heard other people say that mixed tone is basically your head voice but placed in the mask, I actually don't agree with that. So for example, just as I sung before in head voice, if I were a boy, okay, that's my head voice. Now if I were to put that right here in my mask, okay, if I were a boy, yes, it becomes a little bit more powerful, and it's a little bit more forward and out there, which makes it, sound a lot more, belty, right? But to me, that doesn't have the edge it needs in it in order for it to really be a belt. in order for it to be a belt, it needs to have a bit of the chest voice edge in it, okay? But it has to be, in order for it to be healthy, it has to have that mix of head in it as well. So it's neither of the two extremes. It's not, if I were a boy, that's head voice. But it's also not, if I were a boy. See, that's too harsh, it's strained, you know, that's me pulling my chest voice up. But what's healthy is a complete blend of chest and head. So it makes it forward, it makes it resonant, but it makes it easy on the voice, and it gives it that edge still because of that little bit of chest voice you have in it. So, if I were a boy. Now that is a healthy belt. Okay, so you can see that was loud, that was powerful, there's a little bit of edge to it. It is forward sounding, but you know what? That did not strain on my throat, not at all. So that's what I want you to understand today from this video, is that one, belt is definitely a loud, powerful sound, but it has to have a degree of edge in it, depending on what you're singing. The edge will be more or less, okay? And it has to, in order for it to be healthy, it is definitely a mix of chest and head voice together. So there you go. I just wanted to clear up that confusion with this video, but in the next video, I'll actually then cover a couple of exercises that will help you to actually do a healthy belt. So there you go. If you have any questions, please feel free to pop them down in the comments section below. If you haven't already, you know, please subscribe to my website. Then you'll be the first to actually get the second video in this series, How to Belt Part 2. The other thing is, if you would like to get a free course, it's a completely free singing course from me. Basically, I talk about how to sing high notes, how to sing without breaking, and how to sing what's the other one? Oh, how to sing with power. And I also add in there 7 bonus videos on how to sing Jessie J's Nobody's Perfect. If you would like to get your hands on that, all you got to do is click on the link below, go to my website, subscribe to it, and I'll email that to you direct. And of course, you can follow me on Twitter. If you're into getting vocal tips in 140 characters or less throughout the day, then please just go down below. The link is also below. Follow me on Twitter, and you can get that, and we can connect online at Twitter as well. This is Kerri Ho from the Songbird signing off. Get grounded, take flight, and sing.